Yo, Philly, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished?
Yo, Philly, listen up to all our small business owners.
Not just our small business owners, also our entrepreneurs, our creators, our dreamers, our doers.
This is Small Business Saturday. Every week, we're dropping knowledge about small businesses. Man, you know what? Just listen to the podcast.
But we try to do a cool intro. But however, we promise the podcast, we will be dropping gems, we will be dropping knowledge, we will be dropping the tools you need to succeed in your small business.
All right, so every week, every Saturday, stay tuned with Small Business Saturday.
Let's get it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Saturday. I want to jump into the backstory of Small Business Saturday, sort of how and why we got started, and just so you know a little bit more about the episodes and what's coming next. But we moved Small Business Saturday from a weekly video series to a weekly podcast recently, and this whole Small Business Saturday series started about 2 years ago as a blog actually, and it eventually turned into a video. And now the video has been taking up a lot of time and energy and resources, and we're moving that to a monthly series and moving towards a weekly podcast series. So everyone listening, if you're trying to get your business featured, if you want to be on Small Business Saturday as we grow and just gain momentum, then please reach out to us. As we move to this podcast, I had to bring on a co-host. And a quick introduction, my friend Delilah is just crushing the game around here in Philadelphia, born and raised. I'll actually let you introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Delilah. I like long walks to the fridge. Just kidding. Well, not really. So quick background story about me. I run a digital content and events agency. And yeah, so we kind of just we work with different brands, whether local or national, and just create a whole vibe. We create an entire experience. Everything we push out there is just inspiring people, specifically people of color, to kind of want to transition from being dreamers to doers. And yeah, just want to help people live the best versions of themselves. So whether that's through the content we create, the events we put on, we just, we just want people to be the best versions of themselves.
And I think just both of our backstories here, we've worked with all sorts of different companies. I mean, we've worked with Fortune 500 brands, we've worked with bigger companies. My previous time, backstory, we actually both went to Penn State where we initially met.
We are!
Yeah, Penn State. Remember I fixed your phone 7 years ago.
You know what's funny? I don't remember this, but I'm pretty sure it was after a drunken night, so I was getting over a hungover.
Had to be. So,
but I'm glad I made an impression that you still remember.
Yeah, I do. Actually, Abu, shout out, put me in touch with you, and then we got involved with the Latinx event at Google here.
Yeah.
So my backstory is we went to Penn State. I was part of a couple different startups and got recruited by Google, went to work for Google for about a year and a half, and then started the agency Momentum Digital. And my whole thing is really helping small businesses and small business owners and that sort of entrepreneurial American dream. And so I know, Delilah, you have a similar aspect that you like to focus on too, with community and small businesses.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, I definitely love the fact that, so with the whole SBS, with what you're doing here, it's just the fact that we're creating a space to be able to promote small businesses, especially within the community. So a lot of the work that I do, whether it's especially my local events, a lot of my friends call me the dot connector. I try to, if I know, okay, this business will be good to promote for this event that I'm doing, this will be great for you. I just try to connect pieces as much as possible.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate that, actually.
Yeah, and it's just especially because Philadelphia has so many amazing businesses, and it's just we there's so many different aspects, and a lot of people they overlook the resources we have here.
Yeah.
So with a lot of the events that I've done, I've partnered with a lot of local businesses and just just up and coming entrepreneurs and creators in general, and just being able to they always get excited for any time they get to actually put their work out there. So it's just something I personally love doing. And I mean, when you wanted to bring me on for this, I'm yes, I'm so for it.
It's people think entrepreneurship, they think startups, Silicon Valley type of thing, and I'm just what? It's 99% of the businesses are just the small businesses, and so those are the ones that we're trying to highlight. Those are the ones that we're trying to bring value to. And so the weekly podcast, the backstory as to what we're doing there is really just encouraging and promoting and hearing the story and the message behind how they got started, what they're up to, what their plans are, their setbacks, their faults, the things that brought them value, and just learning more about them while also helping, teach them about digital marketing and things that they could do.
So the good thing about the both of us that I especially love, we both have two different backgrounds in entrepreneurship. So when people think entrepreneur, you automatically think, already they have like the startup capital, they have, these business, they have these contacts, they have these tools. There's so many different forms of entrepreneurs. There's so many different levels. You have people that are literally starting from nothing, literally starting from the bootstrap, self-funding their dreams. They still be working a full-time job and are utilizing their salary as their angel investors, typically into their dreams. And then you have other people who are fortunate enough to know about businesses, business loans, so on and so forth. So that's a good thing about me and Mac. We both have different backgrounds in entrepreneurship, and regardless, we're still here. We're building our dreams, and I like that we're both able to offer different perspectives. Like I know you grew up with a family entrepreneurs, and me, I didn't. We joke about this all the time, but I've had to. I'm here in Philly.
Where at?
Like North Philly.
Okay.
I'm Philly John.
Shout out.
I represent that class of entrepreneurs who rely on Google and YouTube and just kind of try to seek information from as many mentors, attending events, trying to understand what exactly is an LLC, what is the EIN number, how you set up a bank account. I never had anyone to teach me this. I had to teach myself everything. And I just definitely want to let you know, just speak to anyone in general who has who wants to take that leap of faith or who wants to start a business, but they feel as though maybe because they're based off of their background or their family or their surroundings that it doesn't happen to people like that to them. But no, I speak heavily about breaking generational curses, and just because you may not be provided with the tools does not mean you cannot go out and collect the tools yourself to figure out how you're going to do this.
We're in the internet age. We're in the age of entrepreneurship.
Yes, I'm telling you, I've taught myself everything. I am a certified Google specialist. I attend Google University on a daily basis. I'm still learning a lot, So granted, a lot of people, they're always saying, oh my God, how'd you get to work with HBO? How'd you get to work with Ciroc or this brand or that brand? I'm just like, Google. I literally teach myself everything. And a lot of times when opportunities are thrown my way, whether, because I tackle in different industries, where there's a startup industry, the entertainment industry, just networking in general, an opportunity is thrown my way. I may not know what the hell I'm doing. However, I research, I use my phone, I use my computer, and just try to get the knowledge that I need. But yeah, we wanted to create a space in general, just further build a brand of Small Business Saturdays for all entrepreneurs in general, especially as small business owners.
Yeah. I mean, really, for anybody listening, if you're a small business owner or want to be a small business owner or just an entrepreneur in general, if you have any relation to business, this podcast is for you. Mm-hmm. And it's not really meant for, the people trying to raise capital, but, we don't restrict it to anybody. Mm-hmm. But I think the people that can get the most value out of this are people starting a small business or very, very early on in their small business, because there are so many things to do and learn. Mm-hmm. And I think hearing these stories from other entrepreneurs and small business owners, especially local to Philly, you're going to learn more about the true setbacks and triumphs of what it takes to be that small business entrepreneur. And, both of us are small business owners too, so we can relate.
And know that everyone's story is different. I think that's what's especially important. I love that we're not really targeting just one specific set or you need to have this type of business, or we're open to all as long as you're a small business owner, but we want to learn your story. We want to learn, like he said, what not necessarily your successes, but where did you fail at? So if you're those entrepreneurs who are especially trying to gain inspiration, just especially if you feel as if you're failing, nothing's going right, that's definitely what this podcast is for. Is we're going to be sharing those stories of the people who have faced obstacles and adversities and what they've done to overcome that and how they've been able to succeed from that. And the people who are still just trying to figure out how to get everything started.
Right. And so we've probably done about 80 episodes now that started as a written blog, then moved to a video series that we did about 70 videos that were once a week. Check them out on Small Business Saturday. You could search it or go to Momentum's social medias. But we're going to be creating a new brand out of this and eventually moving it into a nonprofit. We're not trying to make money off of this. We're actually just trying to help and add value to Philadelphia and these entrepreneurs and small business owners. This is for the viewers. So everyone listening who wants to be featured or showcased on the podcast, just reach out to us, slide in the DM, hit us up. And, you know, we can get your message out there, because for everyone listening, it is an uphill battle constantly, and you're learning every day. Every day is different, and every day is your chance to win. And so this is an empowering story from all the cool businesses in this area that make this area so unique.
And it's just so great to learn about the different businesses we have in Philadelphia.
I
feel like, you know, a lot of people aren't aware just how many businesses are being, you know, started on a daily basis.
Right.
And there's so many amazing things that Philadelphia has to offer. And I'm just so excited to be able to share the stories of these local business owners, my peoples, my local Philly Jones.
My peeps.
But yeah, just share, and just so you can feel connected with the brands in general. But yeah.
And we have all types of businesses on here. We'd like it to be more interesting businesses. Like most recently, we've had Amkara Tattoo. We have a lot of restaurants. We have a lot of boutiques. Not so many accountants or insurance planners. Like something that has like more of a, I guess, interesting appeal to it. But we don't really neglect any sort of businesses, because everybody has that different story and a different message to put out there. So I think the next steps forward, and you know, the things that we want to get into are really around these backstories and finding out more about the people from just like a personal basis, not so much about the business, but understanding their story, what got them to where they are, what their setbacks and struggles were, and how they were able to work through them. And then most importantly, I think, is being able to help each other out. You know, we can provide insight as to marketing, branding, strategy, but we can also learn from them. I've had a lot of conversations where it's like, oh, I didn't even realize that grant existed, or that community of people existed. And so just learning from each other.
And just connecting people in general. So I know there's been times when you've interviewed people in the past, and you know, they're working on some sort of project, and you're like, oh wait, I know someone that's doing something similar. Let me connect you two. I firmly believe in community over community over competition. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, the more we can collaborate, you know, when we unite together, we can definitely grow together, and, you know, just build Philadelphia into the city that we envision it to be. And I just feel like, yeah, we just continue to work with each other, cross promote, and we can definitely achieve new levels of success.
Philly's making moves too.
Okay.
Philly's making moves. A lot of stuff's happening here. I mean, for the past couple of years too. Just, you know, the big real estate boom, there's tech boom, healthcare, education, a lot of cool things going on. But, you know, we want to keep the city small in a way, because it is a community. It's tight knit, and there's still so much I have to learn. You know, being a transplant, I'm not from Philly. I'm from outside of Philly. Like, my dad's born and raised in Reading. But we met at Penn State, and I've always been a Pennsylvania kid. But, you know, now I'm developing roots here, as are many people who are probably listening to, trying to understand how they can build a business in Philadelphia. And it is a smaller community. You know, despite how big Philadelphia is, the entrepreneurship and business community is still pretty small. With regards to the episodes, we're going to do this weekly. So it's going to be a weekly podcast that we're going to launch every Saturday. So usually the week or a couple weeks before, we're going to film the podcast. So you can apply by just sending us a DM at Small Biz Saturdays, or sending us an email. You can email me personally, Mac, M-A-C, at Need Momentum. The weekly podcast, we do some vetting out, you know, to make sure it's a good fit for the business and for us. Make sure we're on the same page. And then the following week we do marketing. But do you want to talk about like the vetting process a little bit and who we're looking for?
Well, in general, first things first, for anyone that is, let's say your business has grown into some, you know, chain business, congratulations, that's amazing. However, we do want to stick to our small businesses. So first things first, yeah, if you're a small business owner, have been in business for like, let's say approximately a year, definitely reach out to us. I mean, we want to learn, because the thing is, I mean, congratulations to everyone that's just starting the business, whether it's 3 months in, 4 months in. But we definitely want to get the story of, you know, that process within a year. Cause you know, it's a lot, and it's not like, oh, once I wake up this morning, here's my LLC, here's my business idea, we're great, we're booming. No, there's,
I wish.
as any entrepreneur knows, there's a lot of trials and tribulations. So we generally want to go for someone that's been in business at least for a year, so we can get that story. We want to know about your failures. We want you to be ready to talk about that, because you may think you're alone, but you're not. And there's a lot of people that your story can resonate to, and we want to share that. And again, like, as we mentioned earlier, just how you were able to overcome all of that. But yeah, just someone that, if you have a story, you've been in business for about a year, just, shout us out or reach out to us. We definitely want to reach out to you.
You're wearing so many hats as a business owner.
Oh, my Lord.
The people listening, it's like, okay, you got to worry about like the business development aspect. You got to worry about, accounting, finance, HR, marketing, branding, hiring, firing, like everything is on your shoulders. And especially as a small business, like you can't afford to hire all the people to do those things for you. And we're also not getting all this backing and capital like some bigger ventures. And so, some of the things we talk about might be around finance, but mostly geared around marketing and growing your business and what it took to get you where you are today, so that others can learn from your story and inspiration, and just being able to connect on that level.
Yes.
So, have anything you want to leave them with?
Not necessarily. We're definitely excited for the growth of Small Business Saturdays. We have a lot of ideas in store, what we want to do, just outside of the podcast, events in general. Everyone that we interview, we definitely, whether we create a directory and just kind of do events for you guys exclusively. I specialize in events curation. So that definitely be like how I'll add to the growth of this brand.
She's gonna be throwing parties.
Okay. But it's gonna be all networking, and but no, overall, I'm definitely excited for this. Again, this is a space that we're creating to highlight our small business owners, understand like how important you are, understand how important your story is. And, maybe since ABC or, Fox right now are knocking down your doors to want to share your story, but we want to do it. And, we want other people, we want our followers, our listeners, our, the city to know about who you are and why, why you're doing is important. And even though you may not think it is, but it is. Like you did something amazing. You're doing something amazing right now. You're starting something, especially for those people who don't come from a background of entrepreneurs. And it's a struggle. It's definitely hard. And the fact that you're able to keep pushing forward regardless of whatever's thrown your way, we want to share that. So don't think because you haven't received a revenue of like $5 million or like you don't have a story to share. You do. Everyone has a story to share. So don't be afraid to reach out to us, whether you're sending an email to Mac or shoot us a DM and just kind of give us like a quick highlight, like, hey, like I would really like to share my story. This is my business page. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So ideally, we want to make sure you need to have social media for your business. So yeah.
You have to be in business, we like to say at least a year. We'd like it to be some sort of more interesting in business that has some sort of appeal to it, cool culture, background, story, mission, all those things. But you can apply, go through the process, and then once we agree to get you on the show, then we just sort of prep you, send you some details, information, questions, jump on a screening call and all that, and then we record the podcast. You can come in person, or we can just do it over a Zoom call. If you prefer to do the monthly video, it's sort of a longer application. Just got to make sure it's the right fit and feel, and there's a donation portion included to that. More details to come, but I sort of want to leave this message. I would rather work all day, every day on my business and make next to nothing than work for a company where I didn't believe in it and didn't see the vision, and where I was working for somebody else making a lot of money. So consider happiness into the overall aspect as to why you're doing creating your own business and running that, because your mental health and happiness is much more important than the money you'll make.
Preach.
And the impact you're having on others.
Okay, Pastor Mac.
We're living it, we're breathing it.
And
we've had jobs before, we've had good jobs. But
there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing, and that's what we want to share. So
and just keep grinding, keep your head up. Every day is different. Make sure to fight through it. Just make sure the good days outweigh the bad, and think back on what's really important to you and why you started the company, and think back to the bad times and how you overcame them. But don't rest on your laurels too. You know, you always have to be changing and growing. So I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank Dee for joining as a co-host. We're really excited to have you, bringing some flavor to the channel.
He's so light and spice in this room.
Yes. So follow Small Biz Saturdays. We're coming out with the podcast is already out. We've done 2 episodes. You can find us on Anchor, on Spotify, on Google Play, on our website. We're coming out with our own specific website for this. It's also on social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So currently it's on Small Biz Saturdays and at Need Momentum, but more details to come. So thankful for everybody listening and watching. It's been a journey so far. I'm really excited to move this thing to the next level, but that's all I really have. Dee, you want to add any closing remarks?
Be great, be humble, stay faithful. Okay.
So there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to Small Business Saturdays. This is the launch episode. This is the episode where we tell you more about Small Business Saturday, who we are, what we do, and why it matters for you. So all the small business owners and entrepreneurs listening, thank you so much. We're here to support you as you are us. Let's grow this thing together, and let's make a difference in the world and here locally in Philadelphia. Stay tuned for next week as we drop bombs with another small business here in Philadelphia. All right, take care, guys.